name is vital to your whole personality. It connects you to your ancestry, it connects you to your culture, it connects you to your parents, it connects to a very important part of you because your name is you. And sometimes people don't recognize that. Educators don't recognize that because, if I'd say you're from Poland or you're from Germany or you're from an Asian country, sometimes people are not accustomed to those kind of pronunciation. And they think that, misnaming them is fine because they don't really see the importance in it. I think a lot of second-generation immigrants feel that frustration. As I said, people don't take mind of it because they're accustomed to what's happening around them. And they feel like, I just mispronounced your name, it's fine. Or it's okay, it's really hard to pronounce, so maybe I can give you a nickname. That happens to a lot of people.
Have you ever met Miss Lindy? She's a gal with the bright red hair. Now she stands high from everywhere. She'd know her anywhere. Where she's mine. Yeah, she's mine.
And in my culture, I'm Filipino. We bond over food. I think that's other people as well. Like, you get to meet people over food while eating. And in my school, we didn't have a canteen. So we would eat outside or we would eat on the floors. So if you didn't have that setting where you could meet friends and meet your new community, then how could you? Because in schools, you're just there to learn. Can we try it? Just listen. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
The lion sleeps tonight.
And the extracurricular activities in the school, we had it, but only because some teachers are very generous with their time. And when you're in an activity, like an after-school activity, the teacher is unpaid and they'd have to supervise you. So if it wasn't for their sacrifices, there wouldn't be an after-school activity. And if you look at the local community, there's barely any places where second-generation families or second-generation immigrants can join. Sure, there's sports. One of my neighbor, actually, they're from Africa, and he's representing Ireland's under-17. He's one of the team, but unfortunately, if you look at other systems or other clubs in place, it's usually white Irish people.
Especially in primary school, because we'd bring our own food to school. So I would definitely be embarrassed to bring like Zimbabwean food with me to school, because most of the time we were eating with our hands and it smelled seasoned, I guess is the best way to describe it. And kids were put off by that, and they'd make fun of me and be like, oh, you're so dirty, or like barbaric or whatever. It became very embarrassing. I was ashamed of the culture, especially because I love Zimbabwean food. So I definitely knew in my heart, like, it's not me, it's definitely I'm worried about other people's opinions of me. That on top of always constantly being told, you're not Irish, you're not enough of this, you're not enough of that. Even though my spoken Irish was very good, I won prizes for it in school. I did Irish dancing, we'd go to Cayleys. I know my dad was obsessed with Irish trad music for some reason. So I grew up listening to Christy Moore and the Wolf Tones. Like, I knew a lot and was very connected to Irish culture, but no matter what I did, I was never going to be Irish enough. On the flip side, I didn't grow up in Zimbabwe, so I was never going to be Zimbabwean enough either. So the sense of identity was very complicated because I was never going to be enough for either group, but I felt more Zimbabwean in Zimbabwe, even though I don't have a Zimbabwean accent, even though I don't really speak the language. They'd make fun of me, but it was always from like a homey pace, and they always make me feel welcome. But I never got that here, even though I've lived here my entire life.
Immigrant parents share the same struggle as the children. If they're not accustomed to a place and nobody is there to welcome them, they're scared. And they don't have time because they have to work. And when you're an immigrant, it's very hard to get a house. So with a house is a community. So you have to move places. If you're renting, you don't really get accustomed to your neighbors, or you don't even meet your neighbors at all. So it's really hard to fit in the community as a children and as an adult if there are no structures or there are no communities that are accepting of second-generation immigrants. When you're a child of a migrant, there's a lot of emphasis on success. And with that success comes with financial responsibility that you're exposed to in such a young age. And looking back now, there was a lot of pressure, which I don't blame my parents at all, because, they want to have a good life for us. And they came into this country to give us a better life. But at the same time, being exposed to that early age, I was aware of my decisions. That's why I picked accounting. I picked business, because I thought that, law is such a steady job, being a solicitor, that I would be able to provide for my family, have a good future, and, repay their sacrifices that they made for me. But when I went to fourth year, I realized that that wasn't me. As much as I'm thankful for my parents' sacrifices, that it's important to find out my true selves. When I was in TY, I think that's when everything changed. Not to be dramatic or anything, but that's when it all happened, because I had time to reflect, because I wasn't busy on studying, because transition year is a year to reflect on yourself, to know what you want, potentially have an idea of what you want to do going to the Leaving Cert, and just have a breathing space where you could discover yourself. So during TY, that's where I found my closest friends, and that helped me come out of the closet and also be who I am today. My year was very queer, I had a lot of gay friends, which I think there was out of 30, there would be 10, almost 1 in 3 people in my class, identified as either gay, lesbian, or non-binary like me. I think every children, especially second-generation immigrants, should be able to have that opportunity to be socially aware and to discover themselves.